Go where no man has gone before.
In your face. It'll knock your socks off.
Broadcasting from station WDWLT, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard and a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions. It's me, the Grumpy Old Man. Well, as you can see, I have the Moon microphone with no static, no feedback, nothing. And here's the strange thing, friends. I have no goddamn idea what the problem was. I decided, just for the hell of it, to plug it back in and give it a try.
For Pete's sake!
And it works. No explanation. I have no explanation as to what the hell went wrong the other day, except I don't think any XLRs and any old school mixers are compatible with Prism. Now, they do have a USB mixer, which I have. And I will experiment with it over in Studio B because everything over there is USB. Over here, it's all basically old school XLR equipment. So, with that said, I have to do everything over here the old way, which basically is to stream first on YouTube and then go in and put it up on Facebook. Because I cannot do a dual platform with Prism Studio over here. It just won't work. I don't know why. The only thing I can figure, and I'm no technical wizard.
Well, back in my day.
I think, just my opinion, that Prism was coded for the new style USB equipment. Because when I run it over in Studio B, I have no problem. I can run dual platforms. No, nothing. Every time I try it here, shit goes haywire. And I seriously think it's the way these streaming platforms are coded. Like I say, I see so many YouTubers using Streamlab. I'm too goddamn old to figure it out. It's as confusing as a fucking Chinese dictionary. I don't know. I give. Like I say, everybody thinks I'm, playing a joke when I say I typed into Google streaming programs for dummies. And one of the first ones that came up was Prism Live Studio. And I downloaded it, installed it, and oh my God, it worked. I was like, I've come into the new century. I've stepped from the dark ages. And then I downloaded and installed Prism Camera, which for the life of me, one day I got it to work. And I have a bad habit of clicking and then closing programs and then sitting here going, what the hell did I just do? And I actually had to reach out to someone and say, how do I work this program?
Damn.
Yep. And I think they originally thought I was kidding. But they answered me back. And just to make sure, I actually printed the email out. And I did what it said. And it worked.
Awkward.
Here's the problem. I haven't used it enough. And I can't find the email. And I forget how the hell to use it.
Fatality.
So somewhere in a stack of papers is that printed email. So I can go over to Studio B one day and play with the green screens again. See, one thing I've learned in a small way is that until you're 100% comfortable, you've got to use the item continuously. And my problem was I sat back and I was like, all right, there's some really neat green screen backgrounds, like a couple in outer space. And how am I going to work that into a stream? And then I get sidetracked. And forget how I was going to use all those backgrounds and not using them. It's like the old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. Yep, I lost it.
You're not heroic. You're not invincible. You're not even invisible. You're your own weakness. Super fail.
Yep. All I can say is,
For Pete's sake!
yeah. And I know it's easy as hell. It was like a couple of clicks back and forth, back and forth. So I have to play with it again. I know basically once you open Prism Studio, you open Prism Lens. And the backgrounds are right in the corner of the screen, and you click on them. It's doing that transition from Prism Studio into Prism Lens. Because once I transition in, I can transition out. Because going through them, I hadn't realized that what I went through was like a third of what's there. Oh my God. I could do some neat shit. It's figuring it back out again.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yep. That's what it boils down to. You know, when I open both them programs, I want
Access granted.
not
Access denied.
no. And once I started to play with it, it was so easy. Click in, click out, click in, click out. I need to figure out how to click in.
Consequences will never be the same.
Yep. That was a dud. That one wasn't. So, I'm hoping to figure that combination out. But there's been too many combinations to figure out here, like this stupid microphone. The only thing I can, like I say, I have the strange feeling, and it's one of two things. Either Prism Studio isn't coded for old XLR equipment, or it's not coded to use the mixer and the interface that I have, because it's all XLR and not USB, and I think that is why they are making USB mixers. So, typical dumbass old man. But I'm glad that whatever was affecting this microphone the other day is not going to be a problem. And like I say, I am right now doing this as I call my old school method, what I started with. Stream on YouTube, then upload it to Facebook. Because as soon as I started to get all that static and all that, I just shut everything down and deleted it. I don't know if what I had going on in the headset was going to transfer. There's a good possibility that it was just on this end. But I just gave up and said, Studio A, old school, Studio B, new school. In a way, I kind of like it this way. Because this is the studio where it all started. Back 2-3 years ago. Man, the other day, I'll tell you what, I went back and looked at some of them stupid videos that I made. Oh, Jesus. Sitting out in the middle of the backyard in a lawn chair with a GoPro. But it was my introduction into the world of YouTube. You go back 2-3 years ago with them stupid videos. And I'll tell you a little story. I was not aware that the average everyday person could put something on YouTube. As a matter of fact, my introduction to YouTube went back to the day that Steve Jobs introduced, what is it, ITV or whatever that box is that not ITV, Apple TV. I think it's Apple TV. I remember the day he didn't introduce it on stage like he introduced the iPhone. This was kind of a pre-introduction to Apple TV. He was at some tech conference and he introduced the Apple TV. At that time, that's right, they hadn't even formally named it Apple TV. They were calling it iTV. And he said, just as he was getting ready to end the demonstration, I can't remember the host's name, but he said, let me show you this YouTube. And he showed some crazy shit. Some girl, they had this big, giant, like slingshot. And she was strapped into this, like, bungee cord setup. And they had grabbed the harness, and they backed up with a four-wheeler, ATV four-wheeler, and let go of her, and shooting back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And Steve was laughing his ass off. And he said, we have this contract with YouTube, and you'll be able to see these videos. Well, to me, at the time, I thought that what he was showing was some sort of studio production. Not knowing that an everyday dummy like me could put a video on YouTube. And I had kind of forgotten about it. And one day I was over at a friend's house, and his grandson came in. His grandson's like 10, 12 years old, came in with his iPad. And he said, Grandpa, let me show you this video on YouTube. And it was a couple of kids doing bicycle tricks, bicycle jumps and stuff. And he said, this is my buddy who lives next door. And I asked him, I said, how did he get a video on this YouTube? And he said, anybody can put, and he showed me basically how you could sign up. I said, oh, this gives me an idea. And I started a YouTube channel and put up some really dumb videos. If you go back to the original days, you'll look at them and go, not saying these are that much better. I'm just saying that I had no idea at the time that anyone could put a YouTube video up. And it progressed. Is it getting any better? Nah.
For Pete's sake!
That's what everybody says when they see him. Of course, there's a story that goes behind that story, which I've told before, and I'm not going to rehash. But, yeah, that's basically how Grumpy's YouTube career started. With a 10 or 11 or a 12-year-old with an iPad showing his next door neighbor doing bicycle jumps. Yeah. Like I say, you want to learn something? Get a little kid. I think I need some like 6 or 7-year-old to come in and show me how to do the prism camera, prism lens, back and forth, green screens. That's something I need to figure out again. Because now, you forget all the shit. And then you come up with a plan for the green screen. It's like me. Make out a grocery list, get to the store, and the list is sitting on the desk. So, my plans for Prism Live Studio and Prism Lens are like my grocery shopping. Make the list out, forget the list. Now, I have a correction for a video I made the other night. Yep, you won't find Grumpy admitting too often he's wrong. But I said something when I was doing my bitching about these auditors. When I said basically if we were going in to like a library to do a story for the station, okay? And I said, being a journalist coming in under WDWL TV, I didn't need permission.
Damn.
Well, yes. Even a national broadcast station needs to secure permission to do the story. I can't be like the auditors and just walk in with a camera. But also, I'm there to do a story, not become the story like these assholes do. So there, friends, you have Grumpy admitting on camera he was wrong.
Well, back in my day.
Yeah,
For Pete's sake.
yeah, I know. God, every time I hit a sound effect, it makes me realize how much I miss this station over here. I know it irritates the shit out of some people. I've had some people say, why do you play them stupid ass sound effects? Because I want to. Yep. And because I can. Okay. The guys in the booth every now and then, they get a little rambunctious. If you notice, I kind of changed around the background just a little bit here. I added the show me your hands. And then way over in the corner here, the Dumeg police. And I moved the bomb squad over here. This shirt right here there's a little story behind it. There is a YouTube streamer that plays a lot of police chases. And for some reason, a lot of the police chases are the Arkansas State Patrol, the Arkansas troopers. And it seems that part of their training, when they finally stop someone after a high-speed chase, is to say that if you watch a lot of Arkansas State Trooper police chases, when the chase finally ends and they have the person at pew-pew point, they will be screaming, "Show me your fucking hands!" And this YouTube streamer, which is they have a huge following, they had those shirts made. And I'm cheap, but I had to buy one. I just had to have one. I've yet to wear it. As you can see on the sleeve, the tag is still on it. I wanted it for display. And as you can see, right there, there's the tag on the sleeve. I don't wear these shirts. I use them for display only. But that one right there, that shirt was basically made as a spoof on the Arkansas State Patrol. Watch their video. Watch a high-speed chase. And they usually end with pit maneuvers. And once the vehicle comes to a stop, they all jump out and they shout that slogan. And I had to have a shirt. And with that, I'm going to put this show in the can because I have to upload it to YouTube. Yeah, I have to upload it to YouTube because it's on YouTube, and then it's going to go on Faceplant. So let me hit finish, end stream. Yes, I want to end. I like how YouTube asks. Your stream will end. See you, bye.